Now on Daybreak, a road shut down due to a deadly crash in Ottawa County. What we've learned from the scene.
Also ahead here, more controversy for a commissioner in Fenville, already dealing with being in the headlines. What the city's mayor wants him to do now.
And vote delayed, how soon a House committee could send articles of impeachment to the House floor.
And why a local high school is taking a page out of Harry Potter's playbook. Good morning, it is 6 o'clock right now. I'm Teresa Weekly.
I'm Tom Hillen. Daybreak starts right now.
This is News 8 Daybreak from Wood TV.
And we want to start off with Catherine, who's keeping a close eye of a road that's closed because someone was killed in a crash and police are investigating now. All
right, Catherine, show us where this is and how it's impacting the morning commute.
Yeah, and so this is a heavily traveled area. It's in Olive Township. We know this road is completely closed off. And Port Sheldon Street between 104th Avenue and 96th Avenue. Here's a look at the scene from this crash that happened earlier this morning. Once again, this road is still closed, and we'll let you know when it does open back up, but just avoid this area if at all possible. It could cause some issues for people, especially if they travel this way during their morning commute. Here's another crash for you in Lowell, Lincoln Lake Avenue, northeast at Follisburg Park Drive. This one not causing any issues for drivers, though. And a look at Holland traffic. Holland, Zeeland, Hudsonville. We know that drivers move along just fine on 196 as well as 31 here. No crashes in this area. Moving north to Muskegon, Norton Shores, Grand Haven area. Drivers move along just fine on 96 as well as 31 here. A quick live look outside for you. This is 131 at Franklin Street. Drivers here headed west, over here east. Looks like they're moving along just fine. Tom, Terry, Teresa.
The triple T.
Yes, that's right. Triple threat.
Triple threat.
We do want to talk about what's happening out there right now. This is one of those weird situations where it's quite a bit warmer than it was when we went to bed.
Oh, I know. We kind of have run the roller coaster ride in a big way this week. So now we're finishing it on
back up to the top, right?
We like that. And I'll tell you, just to give you some perspective, we still have wind chills in the 20s this morning with air temperatures in the 30s, but we all think it's so balmy. We officially have turned our mindset to that winter mindset.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yep.
We are really hardy now. Looking out over downtown Grand Rapids, we are featuring traffic moving along pretty smoothly through the US 131 Ford Freeway interchange. Lots of clouds again across the area today. Temperatures are in the 30s, 10 to 20 degrees warmer than we were just 24 hours ago. And those feels like readings are around 30 in Grand Rapids, 29 Ionia and Kalamazoo, 27 the current wind chill in Battle Creek. Lots of clouds around, though. The clouds are starting to show indications that we may see a few thin spots here and there, maybe a few breaks in the clouds late morning into the early afternoon. So if you do see some limited sunshine, soak up every second of it. We really have seen a scarcity of sunshine so far over the last several weeks. In fact, since late October, we haven't seen a whole lot. Coming up, we'll take a detailed look at that 8-day forecast that does include a few snow chances and some colder air building in for next week.
Developing this morning, an embattled Fenville City Commissioner is taking more heat because of new pictures that have surfaced.
The pictures show Morgan Bowles holding a flag of a designated hate group. And Fenville's mayor now wants him to make a public statement about his past at the city's next meeting, which is coming up on Monday. Our partners at the Holland Sentinel printed pictures of Bowles carrying the flag of the Proud Boys group at a rally in Lansing. You can see him in one picture with others making what we believe is the white power sign with his hands.
Bowles initially sparked controversy after he tweeted a picture of himself wearing a shirt that said socialism is for FGS. The vowel in that last word is replaced with a fig leaf, and some say it's homophobic slur. Bowles told the Sentinel that he is not homophobic.
The Sentinel also has information about his criminal past. You can see some of it here on your screen. It goes back to the mid-2000s. He pleaded guilty to a moving violation causing death in 2012. Police have arrested him several times after domestic violence calls, and he took at least 2 plea deals to avoid abuse charges.
We're working to find out what led up to a deadly stabbing yesterday in Grand Rapids, though police say they are not investigating it as a homicide, but haven't said why. It happened around 3 yesterday afternoon at a home on Kirtland Street near Division Avenue. Police say a 32-year-old man was stabbed in the chest and died at the hospital. Around that same time, someone shot up a home a little over a mile away. That happened on Gilbert Street near Madison Avenue. Police don't believe these two are related. Officers say only one home was hit with bullets and no injuries were reported.
25 years ago today, a Grand Haven police officer was killed trying to make an arrest. Now the Department of Public Safety wants to make sure that Scott Flahive is never forgotten. An escaped inmate shot and killed him in 1994. The shooter, Keith Harbin, is in prison now. According to the Grand Haven Tribune, there will be a service today outside the public safety building to honor him. A police cruiser will sit where the shooting happened all day with its lights on.
It was a win for Michigan State University after a federal appeals court dismissed a lawsuit filed by 4 students. The students say they suffered because of how MSU handled their sexual assault complaints. The lawsuit also alleged the university violated Title IX laws. The court said the students were unable to prove the school was deliberately indifferent to their complaints and that they were harassed even more because of it. The case predates the Larry Nassar scandal. Back in September, MSU promised to make significant changes to its Title IX process.
Now, MSU's Board of Trustees will hold its December meeting this morning. It's the first one for Renee Knake, a new trustee. She replaces Nancy Schlichting, who resigned in October over how the school handled the Larry Nassar scandal. Nassar survivors, Rachel Denhollander, Sarah Klein, and Sterling Reithman, will issue a joint statement after that meeting.
Lawmakers on the House Judiciary Committee are expected to vote on articles of impeachment against President Donald Trump.
They had a long, intense day yesterday. We thought the vote was going to happen last night. Then they abruptly delayed it. That hearing yesterday lasted 14 hours, and it really showed the deep divide that exists between Democrats and Republicans on the committee.
The charges against President Trump they plan to vote on are abuse of power for allegedly pressuring Ukraine to investigate Joe and Hunter Biden and obstructing Congress for blocking witnesses from testifying and defying subpoenas.
None of your fact witnesses were able to establish any evidence of bribery, treason, high crimes, or misdemeanors.
The President of the United States shook down a foreign power to come and get involved in our election. That's wrong.
The hearing is scheduled to start back up at 10 this morning. We will stream that live for you at woodtv.com.
We also expect lawmakers in D.C. to pass a spending bill soon to avoid a government shutdown. They announced a tentative agreement about this yesterday. It's a nearly $1.5 trillion deal to expand Head Start and early childhood education. It would also add about $1.5 billion for President Trump's border wall. One White House official said that they expect the president will sign the bill. That's after the House votes on it next week. 6:07 right now. There's a high school here in West Michigan that no longer has a student body president. In fact, they're doing something reminiscent of a magical fantasy book series.
Take a look at that. And then later, how one person going thrift shopping helped return $10,000 to someone who had it stolen almost 20 years ago.